Hi, I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Before we get going with this video, I just want to take a moment to thank Anthony very much for your donation to our channel's PayPal account. Thank you. Recently, I have received quite a few emails from friends here at the channel explaining to me how you have invested your time in trying to communicate with the narcissist, trying to make the narc see how their actions are impacting your relationship, your life, your family, your home, all of it. And as always, you're coming up empty. Now, many times I've said trying to reason with a narcissist is like trying to nail Jello to a tree, and I want to talk about that today. Of course, it only makes sense that if you're experiencing problems with your partner, your parent, a friend, one of your children, that you would want to sit them down, explain to them how their behaviors were affecting you and your relationship. And I too did this many, many times. I can't tell you how many times I tried to explain to Trevor that this was really the path to nowhere. And every single time, without fail, I was met with the same statement. Whatever, like a flailing 4-year-old. Now, someone brought this up in the comments today, and I'll tell you, it really sparked a memory in me. I would be looking into the face of a middle-aged man who was absolutely wreaking havoc in our lives. I would clearly explain to him, what I saw, how we could fix it, and every time met with whatever. Now, first of all, you're dealing with a person who has a delusional mind. You could try to confront their delusion and say, no, that's not true. And all they're going to do is fortify this belief system in their own minds to defend themselves. You could play along and say, oh yeah, sure, okay, yeah, you're the Queen of England. And what this will do is, again, fortify this belief. They'll be thinking, oh, great, someone else thinks I'm the Queen of England. But none of these tactics work. There is a tactic that will help to slow down the abuse, and we'll get to that in a minute. But why? Why are they so hard to deal with? And what does the word delusion actually mean? Now, the word delusion, in my opinion, is being seriously diluted down, much like the word narcissist. Any kid taking too many selfies these days is called a narcissist. Well, this is not what a narcissist is. And delusion is not someone having a different political belief system than you. It's not someone who just thinks the color yellow is fabulous. This is a serious term used to describe a very, very serious mental condition. Now, delusion means that a person is fixated on a belief system that is not grounded in reality. That no matter how much evidence to the contrary of their belief system is presented to them, they are unable to see it. Their thinker is broken. This delusional thinking will just continue to loop, and no, they never see the pattern. Presenting a mountain of evidence to the contrary of what they're saying is never going to have an impact on them. They have no ability to attach themselves, not mentally, emotionally, psychologically, or spiritually, to the damage they're causing. Now, I know many of you are feeling very much in love with your narcissist, very desperate to save the relationship, as I had felt. And you are actively trying to resolve these issues, as I had. But the reality is, every time you engage in this narrative of insanity, this looping cycle of mindfuckery, you are actually allowing your own mind to be damaged. You are sustaining a brain injury that you are going to struggle long and hard to heal, as many of us will attest to. When you're trying to present a case that is so obvious, so cut and dry, so black and white, there you are with the 8x10 glossies, with the circles and the arrows, clearly trying to show a pattern, a history, and the narc is unable to attach theirself to it, take any responsibility for it. In fact, gaslight the hell out of you, project all of their bad behavior back onto you, and you are now scrambling to reason with this, to find some emotional understanding of this. This is very painful. This is very hurtful. Now you're confused. You're in a state of emotional turmoil. You got to stop it. This is going to end up impacting your life for a long time. This is going to induce brain trauma, cognitive dissonance, post-traumatic stress disorder, and these are all seriously harmful things that are going to take you years to recover from. So you must detach. Stop trying to talk to the narcissist. You know they're not going to ever say what you need to hear. And even if this piece of shit does apologize, it's not authentic. Investing your time and resources in an effort to communicate with the narcissist, to make them see the role they're playing in the demise of the relationship, is never going to have an impact on them. Never. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you are going to be slowly driven mad or quickly driven mad. You're going to be angry, frustrated, heartbroken. You are going to be wallowing in a sea of all of the negative emotions that we really need to avoid in life. A sane human mind is built and designed to understand sanity, not insanity. When a sane human mind is forced to try to understand insanity, well, it's actually causing a brain injury for you. So, though disagreeing with their delusion is not going to help, and agreeing with their delusion isn't going to help, there is one thing you can try if you're still stuck with the narc, or you are forced to communicate with them because of pending court cases or child custody issues. The only way to even slightly impact a delusional mind is to make them think about it. So let's go back to this Queen of England thing. The narc thinks it's the Queen of England. Simply ask it, oh, when was the last time you were in England? Do you have any photos of yourself with the royal family? How do you communicate with the royal family? Do you email them? Do you call them? How do you communicate with each other? Do you have any crown jewels? Can I see them? Have you received your invitation for the upcoming royal wedding? Now, of course, there's no guarantees that this is going to work, but it will help you to stay focused and keep the damage to a minimum, because when you're in a constant state of insanity, it's certainly messing with your mind. And if you're planning on getting free, you're going to need your mind once you get out of there. Now, of course, when a victim is presenting a very serious issue to a narcissist and you get a reply like, whatever, well, how diminishing is this? How disrespectful? How devaluing is this? So avoid this. Do not give them an opportunity to say whatever. Keep conversation to an absolute minimum. You don't need to be engaging them. The more you engage them, the more insanity is coming back at you. And the more insanity you hear, the worse it's going to be for you. If you are free from the narc, for God's sakes, go no contact. If children or joint property is still an issue, find someone to mediate communication with them. The more of this bullshit that impacts your mind, the more the negative emotions are going to rise up, the lower your vibration is going to be. You're going to end up sinking into a depression, a state of utter confusion. If you can, cut this fucker off. Save yourself. Now, if you're still planning to leave, yeah, you may not be leaving with much money. You may end up fleeing with the shirt on your back. But trust me when I say, if you can get out of there with your mind somewhat intact, this is going to serve you well as you exit and build a new life for yourself. Stay calm, stay focused. If the narc is blurting out some crazy narc stuff at you, don't be reactive. Do not respond immediately. Stop, regroup, and ask them questions about it. Get them thinking about how nuts they sound. Save your mind. You are going to need it. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. Love you guys lots. Hope you're having a great narc-free day.